MSW Media. Thanks to Athletic Greens for supporting the Daily Beans. Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/dailybeans to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
News with swearing. Daily Beans, Daily Beans. Daily Beans, Daily Beans.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Beans for Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022. Today, Senator Ron Johnson is directly implicated in the illegal fraudulent elector scheme. New testimony sheds light on Donald's direct involvement in pressuring state election officials and lawmakers. New SCOTUS decisions go about as well as expected. And Brittney Griner's wife says the U.S. failed to facilitate a phone call between them. I'm Allison Gill.
And I'm Dana Goldberg.
Okay, so I just really want everyone to know I'm not making you do this today.
Are you getting hate mail?
No, I just feel so bad.
No, it's okay. I feel like I may have turned a little bit of a corner. My voice still it goes in and out of getting just a rasp because I get a little frog in my throat. But I feel like in general, I might be turning a corner. So I know you're not making me. For everyone listening, AG is not a taskmaster. This is actually... Plus, apparently, some people are mishearing some of the things I'm saying. It's bringing them a lot of joy. So everyone thought I called Cooey Griffin Queef Griffin, which I don't necessarily feel like is a bad thing.
We can call him Queef. That works for me.
I think that was Ryan. I think that was our dear Ryan. But yeah, so no, I'm not being forced. It's a nice break in my day. I haven't seen another human being since Thursday. So this is great.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, no, rest. And you're like, no, I want to do it. So here you are. And
here I am.
Glad you're turning a corner. And again, everyone send the healing vibes. I have a travel day tomorrow, so I'm not sure what the beans is going to look like tomorrow. I might get up early before I go to the airport and record some more information about what I saw today in the hearing room, because there was so much that came out. It was kind of hard to keep up while you were there watching it live. I wasn't on my TV. I couldn't just pause it. And so I think I'll put out an A block like that. And then, Dana, maybe you can jump on and read the good news with another podcast host from the MSW Media Network. We'll figure it out, but you'll get the beans tomorrow. Maybe I'll record another thing from the airplane bathroom.
Ooh,
you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know what's up. You don't know my life. So it's going to be really an interesting day, but there will be something for you and it will be new. I promise. We don't have any interviews today. I did get to hang out a little bit with Andy McCabe a minute ago. He just took off. He was in between hits. He was doing Don Lemon next. So if anyone tomorrow watched Andy McCabe on Don Lemon, I was just hanging out with that guy. So I asked him, I was like, you got to get on Twitter, dude. And he's like, I can't with Twitter. He's like, dude, LinkedIn exhausts me.
Oh my God. I feel you, Andy. I feel you. You keep good company though, my friend. You do.
So it was very nice to see my friend. I haven't seen him since his book signing in 2019. So that was nice. All right, we do have a lot of news to get to, so let's do it. Let's hit the hot notes.
Hot notes.
All right, so some breaking news from the committee today, where I was inside the hearing room. We learned that an aide to Senator Ron Johnson, Russia Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, reached out to an aide of Vice President Pence. So Ron Johnson's aide reached out to VP Pence's aide to coordinate the delivery of the fraudulent slates of electors by hand. This is what they wanted to do. That explosive text exchange was displayed on that big 25-foot screen in the hearing room today for like a second. The entire gallery was stunned by it. We were all scrambling to get a photo before it disappeared. It went by so fast. It was so quick, but it was one of the top stories of the day. So Pence aide Chris Hodgson was replying to a text from Ron Johnson's staffer, Sean Riley. So Pence guy goes, sup?
Which made me laugh.
And the Ron Johnson guy said, Johnson needs to hand something to V. POTUS, please advise. So then the Pence guy goes, well, what is it? And the Ron Johnson guy says, alternate slates of electors for Michigan and Wisconsin because archives didn't receive them. And then the Pence guy goes, do not give him that.
Which is just fantastic.
Now, apparently, a spokesperson responded for Ron Johnson, saying he wasn't involved in the creation of fake election certificates. We didn't ask you that, ma'am. But he said, I wasn't involved in the creation of fake election certificates. And again, that's not the issue. But then he went on to say he was aware that there was a handoff. He knew that it was the alternate slates of elector. His answer is just a bunch of gibberish, basically trying to muddy the waters. So that was a big deal. And his response is totally inadequate. Then, of course, came the evidence we've all been waiting for. We were all waiting for, which was testimony. Because I was like, look for this. I made a little video outside the Longworth office house. I was like, the office building. I was like, look for this. Look for Schiff to tie Trump directly to the fraudulent elector scheme. And that came in the form of testimony from Arizona House Speaker Bowers, that Donald Trump personally called him with Rudy on the line and asked him to hold a hearing in the Arizona House of Representatives so that they could present evidence of election fraud with the stated goal of decertifying the Biden electors in favor of a fraudulent slate of Trump electors. Now, Bowers refused this because he kept asking over and over again, where's the evidence? Give me your evidence. Show me your evidence. 200,000 dead people, show them to me. 500,000 immigrants voted, show them to me. Give me their names.
Yep.
And Rudy was like, Jenna Ellis has it. And Jenna's like, I'll get it to you. I don't have it with me, but I'll get it to you. And then Rudy said something like, it's less that we have evidence and it's just more theories. And it just kind of went on like this for a while. So a week later, Rudy held his own pretend hearing in a hotel in Phoenix. And then in December, Eastman called Bowers and asked him to decertify the Biden electors. And Bowers again refused, saying he would not violate the law. And Eastman replied, hey, just do it and let the courts sort it out. Now, Bowers told both Eastman and Donald Trump he would not do anything illegal for them. So he told Trump and Eastman that what they were doing was illegal, explained why. And I think it's very interesting that Eastman said, just do it and let the courts sort it out. Did he have some sort of special friend that knows the courts?
Could be.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody, Jenny.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go over that hearing, like I said, in a bit more detail tomorrow. I've got some other things I want to talk about after another story. I'll see if I can record it, like I said, before I get on the plane home. If not, I'll record it from the plane home. I'll make it happen. I wanted to leave you, but today I want to leave you with this passage that Bowers read from a personal journal he kept. And this was a passage from December 2020 that he read in the hearing today. And I do want to preface this by saying that this is a diehard Republican. He's voted no on everything we care about. He's not, I disagree with him on everything. But I just wanted to play this clip.
It is painful to have friends who have been such a help to me turn on me with such rancor. I may, in the eyes of men, not hold correct opinions or act according to their vision or convictions, but I do not take this current situation in a light manner, a fearful manner, or a vengeful manner. I do not want to be a winner by cheating. I will not play with laws I swore allegiance to, with any contrived desire towards deflection of my deep foundational desire to follow God's will as I believe He led my conscience to embrace. How else will I ever approach Him in the wilderness of life, knowing that I ask this guidance only to show myself a coward in defending the course He let me take?
So he can write. Like that's good writing. It's a good piece of writing.
That testimony, today was incredibly powerful by a Republican. We have to remember that.
Yeah, definitely. So I just wanted to play that clip because it was heavy. But again, he's still a Republican, but it was heavy.
Yeah, thank you so much, AG. And this story, I have a bit of an update on the Brittney Griner story. On their 4th anniversary, Brittney Griner was unable to speak with her wife for the first time in months. Because why? There was no one at the U.S. Embassy in Moscow available to connect a phone call between them. That's what Griner's wife said on Monday. The call had been set up 2 weeks earlier, Sherelle Griner told the Associated Press. Now, they haven't spoken directly since Brittney, one of the WNBA's most prominent players, was arrested in February at an airport near Moscow on drug charges. And this is a quote, "I was distraught, I was hurt, I was done, fed up." And that's from Sherelle Griner. She said of her emotions after the conversation with her wife failed to even materialize. She told the AP she initially suspected Russian officials had interfered with the call, but said she learned Monday from Brittney Griner's lawyers that her own country was responsible for the error. So somehow this fell in the United States. And according to the lawyers, Brittney Griner had tried phoning her wife 11 times using a number she had been given at the embassy that was meant to be patched through to Sherelle Griner in Phoenix. However, the date for the call fell on a Saturday, and the embassy did not have staff on hand to make a connection. That's the excuse they used. The WNBA's Players Union said Monday it was crushed at the missed opportunity for Brittney Griner to talk to her wife. Tagging President Biden in a tweet, the union called on him to meet with Sherelle Griner and secure the return of the 31-year-old center so they can speak to one another in person. Now, saying it was, quote, glad that Biden was able to celebrate his 45th wedding anniversary with the First Lady, Jill Biden, the past weekend in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, the union added, whether you've been married for 4 or 45 years, anniversaries are a big deal. Just making a point. Yeah. The U.S. government declared last month that Brittney Griner was being wrongfully detained by Russia and pledged to, quote, continue to undertake efforts to provide appropriate support to her. Now, Griner's February arrest for what Russian authorities said was an attempt to illegally bring vape cartridges containing hashish oil into the country after a flight from New York came as tensions from the United States grew amid the then impending invasion of Ukraine. Now, on Monday, Sherelle Griner said the planned phone call represented, quote, such a big moment because this would have been the first time that they truly could tell if she is okay. Now, she noted she has had to rely on the word of others who have been able to interact with Brittney Griner since the initial detainment. This is February, everyone. And obviously, we don't know the specifics of the story, but there has been a lot of silence from this administration, and I can't even speculate as to why the story has not kept coming back up.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not getting the attention it deserves. If this were Tiger Woods, it would be a big fucking deal, right?
Yeah, if this was fucking Brady, he'd be home by now.
Well, yeah. Russia wouldn't capture him. They're friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love you, Patriots fans. Don't come down. Also today, the harrowing testimony of 2 Georgia election workers and how their lives were thrown into turmoil after Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump set them up as scapegoats in that election fraud lie that's been repeated over and over. Mother and daughter, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, testified to the committee. Shay in the hearing room today, and her mother, Ruby, by video, though she was present in the hearing room. Shay began by talking about how much she loved being an election worker, how she loved helping the elderly voters and disabled voters be able to cast their vote because her mother had instilled in her what a privilege it is to be able to participate in democracy. And after Rudy and Trump targeted her and her mother, saying they snuck suitcases of ballots out from under tables and ran them through counting machines multiple times, which, by the way, has been disproved. Their lives it's been extremely traumatic and dangerous. Rudy accused Shay's mother of handing Shay a USB drive, which he kept referring to a USB port, but whatever. And when asked about that, Adam Schiff said, what was your mother handing you? Shay said, a ginger mint. And the suitcases of ballots, by the way, Gabe Sterling, the COO of the Georgia Secretary of State's office, who testified today as well alongside Brad Raffensperger, said that those were actual official ballot containers, and that both the Secretary of State's office and the former U.S. Attorney in Georgia, B.J. Pack, and the new U.S. Attorney in Georgia, who was appointed by Trump after he fired Pack, and Attorney General Bill Barr all investigated this. That's your tax dollars at work, by the way. And all drew the same conclusion. Neither Shay nor Ruby did anything wrong. That was the standard operating procedure in Georgia. But because of the lies and the scapegoating, their lives were completely upended. They received violent, racist threats, death threats. The FBI told Ruby to move out of her house because she wasn't safe. One person messaged Shay, you better be glad this is 2020 and not 1920. Just absolutely terrifying trauma both of these women endured. And I broke down when Shay blamed herself for the threats that befell her family. That self-blame after trauma is so common.
Yeah.
And that's Adam Schiff said, it's not your fault. It was absolutely gut-wrenching. And everyone in the room was floored by what these 2 patriotic women had to endure in the wake of Donald's bullshit election fraud lies. It was so moving, in fact, to hear her talk about it. Every member of the panel, first of all, Officer Harry Dunn, who I was there at his invitation, he got up, pushed people aside, went right to them, made a beeline to these 2 ladies and just hugged them and spoke to them.
Good.
for a minute. And then something I've never seen before. I don't think this has ever happened, but all of the members, the panel members, all of the members of the select committee lined up to each individually speak to both Shay and her mom, Ruby. Dana, just absolutely emotional moment today in the hearing room. That entire last part of the testimony was just, it was a gut punch.
What a beautiful, and I say this in the sense of for you to be able to witness that and their bravery and their patriotism. I mean, unbelievable. I hope these two women get the acknowledgement they deserve, and the protection as well. It's just awful. It's awful. A few cases came down today. The Supreme Court ruled Tuesday that state programs providing money for public school tuition cannot exclude schools that offer religious instruction. Now, this is a big fucking problem because now there's no separation of church and state with this ruling. Now, the decision relaxed longstanding restrictions on using taxpayer money to pay for religious education, further lowering the wall of separation, like I said, between church and state. Now, the vote was 6-3. Not surprisingly, Justices Breyer, Kagan, and Sotomayor dissented. We expected that, and I'm glad. Now, at issue was a state program in Maine that made taxpayer money available to families who live in remote areas without public high schools. Now, under the state law, they could use the money for their children's tuition at public or private schools in other communities, but not for sectarian schools, defined as those that promote a particularly faith or belief system and teach material, quote, through the lens of this faith. Writing for the majority was Roberts. Justice Jeff Roberts said Maine's program, quote, promotes stricter separation of church and state than the federal constitution requires. Right. The tuition program is not neutral, he said, because, quote, the state pays tuition for certain students at private schools, so long as the schools are not religious. That is discrimination against religion.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Thank you. He also noted that the state money does not go directly to schools, but flows, quote, through the independent choices of private benefit recipients. So 2 years ago in a state from Montana, the court ruled that when states make tuition money generally available, they cannot exclude schools that are run by religious institutions that have, in other words, a religious status. But that decision left unresolved the issue of whether it would matter if the schools actually offered religious instruction. So the court has now answered that question, saying it doesn't matter. Justice Sotomayor said in a separate dissent that she feared the court's earlier decisions were, quote, leading us to a place where separation of church and state is a constitutional slogan, not a constitutional commitment. Now, today, the court leads us to a place where separation of church and state becomes a constitutional violation.
Well written. Well written.
I know. She's so good. And we knew this. We knew these 6 justices were going to do this and they're going to blur it. It's going to be really interesting, though. And I just want to run back to that case. If for some reason that case in Florida where the synagogue is suing DeSantis saying that, their religious freedom is being violated by the abortion ban at a certain amount of weeks, and that goes to the Supreme Court, it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be very hard for them to say, no, we're not protecting this religious freedom. So even though this is horrible, I think they're fucking themselves in many ways down the road.
They'll find a way. They'll find a way.
I know.
I bet you they'll find a way. Yeah, it's gross. And we still don't have Dobbs. We still don't have a Dobbs decision or the gun case decision.
Yeah.
But we got that one today, and it's the wrong decision. And, for everyone who thought it was cool to sit home and not vote in 2016, this is the lag.
Indeed.
This is the lag. All right. I'm not going to get into that. I love everyone. Okay. We're going to be right back. This is a good time. This is a good time to switch to the good news. So everybody stick around. We'll be right back with it.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, everybody, it's AG. And one of the ways I've been able to start taking better care of myself is with my morning scoop of AG1 from Athletic Greens. With one delicious scoop, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics for your gut, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. The special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, nervous system, immune system, energy, muscle recovery, focus, aging. It covers all the things in one delicious scoop. And I want to thank AG1 and Athletic Greens for their support, and they're offering you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase when you head to athleticgreens.com/dailybeans. Athletic Greens is a small micro habit with big benefits. It's so convenient and easy, and there are so many reasons why I love it. First of all, it tastes delicious. It's budget friendly. It costs less than $3 a day, which is a great investment for your health, and it's cheaper than your cold brew habit, I promise. And right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. I do it right before the gym. It was such an easy habit to pick up. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements and probiotics out of the fridge and out of a cabinet. You don't have to do that anymore. It's all in this one delicious scoop of AG1. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens, like I said, they're going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/dailybeans. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/dailybeans to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Hey all, there was a time when sleeping was difficult for me. It eluded me. I used to toss and turn all night. I would have night sweats. I would wake up sore. I thought it was anxiety and stress and all the news covering the former guy. But as it turns out, I was sleeping on a mattress made for someone else. And now I have a mattress from Helix Sleep, and I wake up feeling great, refreshed, well rested. It's amazing. Helix Sleep has an online sleep quiz. Takes just 2 minutes to complete. They match your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. My perfect mattress happens to be the Helix Midnight because I'm a side sleeper and I like a medium firm mattress. But they also have the perfect mattress for you. They have soft, medium, firm mattresses, Helix Plus mattresses for plus-size sleepers, ones that control body temperature and regulate your hotness so you don't have hot flashes and heat like night sweats at night. It's truly amazing. Once you take the quiz and order the mattress that they match for you, they'll ship the mattress right to your door for free. You don't have to go to a mattress store ever again, which is cool because that's creepy and kind of gross. Helix is great, but you don't have to take my word for it. Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired magazine. Helix has been recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as well as a go-to solution for improving your sleep. As you know, they have a 10-year warranty. You get to try it out for 100 nights without risk. They will come and pick it up for you if you don't love it and give you a full refund, but you will love it. And they have financing options and flexible payment plans available. So go to helixsleep.com/dailybeans, take their 2-minute sleep quiz. They'll match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best night's sleep of your life. And right now, Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at Helix Sleep. That's HELIX sleep.com/dailybeans. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's time for the good news.
Who likes good news? Everyone? Then good news, everyone.
Good news, good news. And if you have any good news, confessions, corrections, what the mutt, tell us what a dickhead Louis Gohmert is, Halloween photos, adoptable pets in your area. You can do it by going to dailybeanspod.com and clicking on contact. Just send in your puppy pictures. That's fine too. Kitties, pets, burbs, buns, whatever you got. I want them. I want them all. Quick housekeeping note. Again, I'm going to keep saying this probably for another couple of days because there's 2 versions of the Daily Beans floating around out there on Apple, and I'm going to be archiving one of them here in a couple of days. And I don't want you to miss future episodes of the Beans or think that we went away. So you can make sure you're followed and subscribed to the correct Daily Beans. If you listen to us on Apple, this is only for people who listen on Apple Podcasts and only for people who are not patrons or supercasters. Just head to apple.co/beans, all lowercase, and that is the one you want. All right. Because at the end of the week, we're going to be archiving that. So first up from Anonymous, pronouns she and her. Hello, ladies. Here's an addition more than a correction. There are 3 official languages in Belgium: French, Flemish, Dutch, and German. French, Flemish is Dutch, and German. Generally, the northern part of the country nearest to Holland speaks more Flemish, and the southern part, closer to France, speaks more French. I remember the street signs in Brussels being in 2 languages, Rue and Straat, right? Street and street. So, while it's true that Bruges is pronounced to rhyme with rouge, the city is the capital of the province of West Flanders, and the predominant language is Flemish Dutch, so the city is locally known as Brugge or Bruges.
I think it's Al Bruges. I think that S at the top, we should just get rid of it.
In Dutch, the G's are very guttural, pronounced at the back of the throat, kind of like the CH and the Brugge. Brugge. Now I sound Scottish. Brugge. Think of a very exaggerated Scottish accent saying,
oh, wow, that's funny.
Brugge. Okay. Brugge. A long U accent on the first syllable, a very hard G. Brouhaha. We'll call it brouhaha. For pet tax, I include our dear Nathan Jr., who has the job of Christmas tree inspector each year as soon as decorations are complete. And I am betting Nathan Jr. is a cat. Let's see.
I am betting you're right.
Yes, there he is. Hi, Nathan Jr. Nathan Jr. from Raising Arizona?
I hope so. God, that was such a good movie.
Nathan Jr. Huffhines?
Such a good movie.
I love that.
I do too. All right. Well, thank you for the lesson. Another one. This is from Shauna, pronouns she and her. Hey, besties. I love it. I love having you guys in my ears every day because I don't get a lot of rational people living in Red County and having a Trump-loving family on both sides. Thank you for keeping me sane. I have a misheard lyrics for you. I was 9 when Heart of Rock and Roll by Huey Lewis and the News came out in 1983. It's a great song, super catchy, but it never really made much sense to me because I couldn't understand why the Heart of Rock and Roll was in Topeka.
The heart of rock and roll is Topeka.
Yep, even at 9.
And then he even goes on to say in Cleveland. So that had to be really confusing.
Very confusing. I loved this record. It was so good. Anyway,
It was.
That was me saying that. Even at 9, I knew Topeka, Kansas wasn't a thriving metropolis. Was it because Kansas was in the middle of a country and thus the heart? Why were none of the other cities listed in the song? And there are quite a few. Why weren't they listed as the heart? I forgot about the dilemma for decades until a few years ago when I was listening to 80s music through my Amazon Echo show that has a screen and often shows the lyrics to the songs that play. I happened to catch the, quote, actual lyrics, and I felt like a big dummy when I heard the heart of rock and roll still beating. Yeah. Boy, I am glad I never asked anyone for clarification why Huey Lewis liked Topeka so much. That's awesome.
Midwestern piece. He's down to earth, salt of the earth guy.
I know. Now, in lieu of pod pet tax, I offer a picture of the frog that took up residence in the planter next to our front door one day. I only noticed him because something hit the front door window, and I checked the security cameras only to see a crazy little squirrel bouncing from the bench to the window to the pot, back to the bench. To my son's disappointment, by the time he got home from the school, the squirrel had disappeared, but he checked the courtyard anyway and discovered the bright green frog hanging out.
Hey, Froggo.
Wow. He's a big boy.
Hi, little kid. I love frogs. Used to collect them.
That's like hide the frog. We got to hide the frog picture.
Yep, find the frog.
Find the frog.
Kermit the Frog. All right.
Hello, Kermit the Frog.
Hi ho. He said.
Hi ho.
Hi ho. Gail in Michigan says, I've been planning to write this Things Kids Say story for a while. Now that Dana is under the weather and likely bored, today's the day to share. Why, Dana? It has some solid New Mexico roots, so she would likely have an understanding of the geography. Myself, I was born and raised in Southeast Michigan, but lack of teaching jobs in the late 70s followed by my marriage to a Flagstaff native and NAU grad, also linked to AG, as I've heard her tell that she also went to school there. Yes, I did. Lumberjacks. I ended up moving to Carlsbad. I love it there too. Carlsbad, New Mexico, where both of my daughters were born. Because of the Flagstaff connection, we ended up constantly making that long drive to Arizona, much of it on the I-40 through Albuquerque. On one trip, while the girls were about 5 and 8, they were entertaining themselves by reading signs. As we approached the Sandia Mountains from the east, the oldest was trying to sound out the exit sign for Tijeras and Cedar Crest.
Nice job.
Photo of the sign included. As she started to sound out the word slowly, Tijer. Suddenly, the youngest daughter interrupts. Note for the reader, use the most sing-song voice you can imagine. Phonetic spelling follows. Tiger cheddar chest. Nothing breaks up a long, boring trip like the roar of laughter. And of course, that exit has retained that name until this day, despite the fact that both girls are now in their late 30s. Now for a selection of ancient Halloween pics. Yes, circa 83 to 89. Good years. I always went all out in sewing department for the girls. For your enjoyment, please see Rainbow Bright and Twink the Sprite and Snow White and Sleeping Beauty. Oh,
Cute.
I love that Rainbow Bright. Look at the... Oh, and Twink. Oh, those are really good Sleeping Beauties and Snow
Oh my
Whites.
God. And the little one looks like from Mrs. Doubtfire.
She does look like the little girl from I Love Stuart Little.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't she?
Yes, looks just like her.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh my God. Wonderful. Thank you for that. And yes, it does make me miss home. I recognize that exit well. All right. This is from Adam, pronounce he, him. Hi, Allison, Dana, and Aimee. Thanks for keeping me up to date with the craziness of American politics. I've matched by the madness of our right-wing government led by the Trump wannabe, Boris Johnson. I'm praying we can have our equivalent of the Biden 2020 win. I'm praying you can too. As the world falls apart, we got another dog to keep us sane. Molly, on the right, has joined her big sister, Peggy. I love Molly. I love that name. Anyway, oh my God, these dogs. This is a super easy what the mutt. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Keep supplying us with the humor alongside the news, and good luck in the midterms. And oh my God, these little dachshunds are so freaking cute.
Little wiener dogs.
Love them.
Oh, there's like that ruddy red color and then that fawn sort of buckskin. They're beautiful.
Indeed.
Beautiful babies. Thank you for all these submissions. Please continue. Please continue. Because I think Dana's going to be reading the good news with a surprise guest tomorrow, maybe. Or maybe I'll throw an interview in there. I don't know what's going to happen. It's potluck tomorrow.
It's
Y'all,
potluck.
We don't even know. But I appreciate all this, and I appreciate all of your amazing, wonderful interactions on social media as I've been out here in DC for this past week. I'm excited to come home and see my kitty cats, though, and my fronds. So it's going to be a long flight home, but it was a good trip. And I'll be back out here in August for the Justice Matters gathering with Glenn Kirshner. He's asked me to speak at that event. So that's in August. If you're a Justice Matters person, I'll probably see you there. And that's all we've got for today, Dana. Do you have any final thoughts?
No final thoughts for today.
All right. Well, you get better.
I'm working on it.
We'll be back in some capacity tomorrow. I just don't know how. But until then, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, take care of the planet, take care of your mental health. Vote blue over Q. I've been AG.
And I've been DG.
Nems the Beans.
The Daily Beans is written and executive produced by Allison Gill with additional research and reporting by Dana Goldberg and Aimee Carrero. Sound design and editing is by Desiree McFarlane, with art and web design by Joelle Reeder with Moxie Design Studios. Music for The Daily Beans is written and performed by They Might Be Giants, and the show is a proud member of the MSW Media Network, a collection of creator-owned podcasts dedicated to news, politics, and justice. For more information, please visit mswmedia.com.
MSW Media.